I, Hon Femi Gbajabiamila. God bless you all.
Many thanks for tuning into House Tickets, your window into the activities of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am Dehelia Mamza, your guide. The House of Representatives did not sit last week because of the gubernatorial elections rescheduled till 18th of March 2023. Now that the elections are over, House Ticket will bring you details from plenary proceedings and committee activities when the House resumes. In this episode, however, we shall give you an outlook of what the 10th House of Representatives will look like as we take a special report on the presentation of certificates of return to lawmakers that were elected into the 10th House. In other reports, the outgoing British High Commissioner paid a courtesy visit to the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, as she bids farewell to Nigeria. This is even as the Speaker also received the House of Representatives press corps, who called on him to congratulate him on his re-election. Details of these stories when House Ticket returns after the break. Please stay tuned.
The entire purpose of the legislative agenda is to direct our legislative resources and efforts in a coordinated effort to ensure the well-being of the individual in a life of safety and freedom. That is a high ambition, but is well worth the effort. We have passed landmark legislation to fix our oil and gas industry, reform the police, and reorganize the corporate administration system in our country. We have considered and passed meaningful legislation that impacts all areas of our national life.
Thanks for staying tuned. The 9th House of Representatives is gradually winding down. The 10th House will be inaugurated in the first week of June 2023. Preparatory to this and following the results of the National Assembly elections held on the 25th of February 2023, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, recently issued certificates of return to winners of the February 25th, 2023 National Assembly elections in Nigeria. Let's see how the ceremony went and listen to some members-elect speak on their plans for their electorate and constituencies. The report is presented from our studio.
Ahmed Idris.
The certificate of return was presented to the winners of the February 25, 2023 National Assembly elections by the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, at the International Conference Center, Abuja. A total of 325 elected House of Representative members were issued their certificates of return by the INEC chairman. There will be supplementary election for the remaining 35 members to meet the constitutional requirement of 360 House of Representative seats. For the 325 seats already declared by INEC, the All Progressive Congress APC won 162 seats, the People's Democratic Party PDP won 102 seats, Labour Party LP won 34 seats, while the New Nigerian People's Party NNPP won 18 seats. Others include the All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA with 4 seats, African Democratic Congress ADC with 2 seats, Social Democratic Party SDP with 2 seats, and the Young Progressive Party YPP with 1 seat. Only 14 of the 325 elected representatives are women. The 9th House had 13 women.
Nangere Potiskum. Nangere Potiskum. Fatima Talba. Fatima Talba. Tani Zana Zakaria.
It feels good.
Some of the elected members share their thoughts on what their constituents should expect from them, while also speaking on the relationship between the executive and legislature, among other issues.
I couldn't be happier that I am one of the few women who survived the tsunami. while praying that this 10th Assembly will give women an opportunity to create avenues through legislation that will bring in more women into the House of Representatives and the Senate. And we'll also use this opportunity to seek leadership positions. The few women that have come would be cushioned if, for instance, a woman becomes the speaker or the deputy speaker. I rightly qualify for any of these. I'm from the Southeast and I'm of the ruling class, the APC. And I have the support of my governor and the support of my party. So this is a good opportunity to properly situate those of us who have survived and are in the front line. If a woman is not just elected to be a floor member or chair a common committee, but elevated at the table as a principal officer, it becomes a lot easier that you have put us on the table when issues of women and women in politics and womanhood are being discussed.
We will redouble our efforts to continue to provide good leadership, good legislative engineering, good representation and good oversight on behalf of my constituents. I'm sure they know we will do much better than we did before.
We will do our best, those of us who have returned, to cooperate with our colleagues so that we will do a teamwork in the interest of our own country.
The legislature-executive relationship, how is it going to be?
It's going to be an excellent, robust relationship because the more we cooperate, the better for the country, and the more dividends of democracy trickles down to our constituents.
I feel very honored, and I really appreciate my constituents for finding me worthy to still entrust their ballot to me to represent them in the 10th Assembly. The 10th Assembly, by God's grace, will bring a new developments, new things. We are going to bring new changes because of the situation we are finding ourselves in the country. The country has become so divided. Our major concern will be to unite the country and also ensure that the situation, the sufferness by our dear brothers has changed. Will bring development by God's grace.
As a new person in the 10th Assembly, I am coming with a lot of ideas, especially to represent the teaming members of my people in the 10th Assembly and Nigeria at large. We're going to see a new Nigeria a new 10th Assembly full of innovations for the betterment of our people. It's the dawning of a new day. You can see a lot of people, new people made it. And we're here. It's a breath of freshness and a breath of new programs. The Nigerian people should be ready to see a difference in this 10th Assembly. We're here for business. We're here for the business of making laws that are people-friendly, and we're here for delivering the dividends of democracy, especially myself, to the people of Orumba North and South Federal Constituency.
The varieties of political parties that came together to form the member-elect, circle at the moment is an evidence of our advancement in democracy, because that entails varieties of ideas. Those political parties have various ideologies. The combination of that will enhance our approach towards using legislative intervention to solve our needs. So the perspective from which the House will view issues, national issues, will be varied. Because those political parties have manifestos and ideologies that defines them. And it is from that view they'll be looking at debate. So you're going to have stormy debate on issues, which is healthy for our democracy. In the process of that stormy debate, we are going to harvest the best opinion, national opinion in solving national issues. So I'm expectant that the coloration that these varieties of political parties coming on board, like we have about 8 of them, is going to show in the quality of legislations that we bring on board.
It's been quite an experience. We I'll be going into the 10th Assembly to consolidate on the experience of the past. And from the legislative angle, we will be focusing on areas that are of legislative interest to me, like the Electoral Act, for instance. We want to look at the Electoral Act, particularly the areas dealing with special focus on electoral offenses. Now, the focus has always been on the politicians, but with less emphasis on the breaches committed by the electoral officers. And many of them have gotten away with a lot of breaches. So we intend to look at the law such that those who deliberately attempt to circumvent the law, Electoral Act, so such as to distort the wish of the people, have to pay for the offenses committed.
Welcome back. The program is still House Tickets, and before the break, we brought you a special report on the certificate presented to lawmakers elected into the House of Representatives. House Ticket continues with a report on the farewell visit by the outgoing British High Commissioner to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. Keep watching.
The entire purpose of the legislative agenda is to direct our legislative resources and efforts in a coordinated effort to ensure the well-being of the individual in a life of safety and freedom. That is a high ambition, but it's well worth the effort. We have passed landmark legislation to fix our oil and gas industry, reform the police, and reorganize the corporate administration system in our country. We have considered and passed meaningful legislation that impacts all areas of our national life.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, on Tuesday, 14th March 2023, received the outgoing British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Catriona Laing, on a courtesy visit. Speaking during the visit, the Speaker described the visit of the outgoing High Commissioner as a sweet and bitter one.
Sweet because it's always good to have you around and to sit with you and knock heads together and discuss various issues, but bitter because you're outgoing. It's bitter because I personally, and I'm sure I speak for several Nigerians in their official and maybe even in their personal capacities, have enjoyed a great working relationship with you. You and I, over time, have had robust engagements and interaction, and both formal and informal. You've been very supportive. We've met even at dinner at my house. We've met at yours, and it's been very enriching time for me.
The Speaker noted that the passion of Ms. Catriona Laing was quite evident in many of their discussions, and she will be greatly missed.
My hope and my prayer is that whoever succeeds you will carry on in that same trajectory, in building and fostering an even more sustainable relationship between our two countries. I really do thank you very much. We will miss you. We will miss you. Nigeria will miss you. The Parliament will miss you, and your various engagements. I pray that whatever you do moving forward, I wish you Godspeed, and I wish you well. I thank you once again very profusely for the interest that you have showed in the work we do here in Parliament, even in my own work and my own interventions, like you rightly said, the last of which was the mentorship program which I launched, and which you played a very critical role. And I will be keeping you updated. Yes, I'll be keeping you updated. And I don't know where you're going or what your next port of call is, or if you're going into retirement, which I'll be very, very surprised, because at a young age of 30, 35, I believe, I think it's a bit too young to go into retirement. And you have so much more to offer both your country and perhaps the world at large. So I thank you very much. I appreciate your visit to come and say farewell, to come and say bye-bye, but not goodbye.
Speaking earlier, the outgoing High Commissioner, Katriona Lang, said serving in Nigeria has been a wonderful experience for her.
I've had some highs, many highs, a few lows, but overall it's been an absolutely wonderful experience. And it's a very strong foundation of that has been a really good working relationship with Mr. Speaker and his team. We've worked together on a number of very important electoral bills.
She also spoke on the Speaker's initiative and congratulated him on the outcome of the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections.
His own initiative, the foundation he set up to support young legislators, and I was very privileged to support that, the launching of that. So it's been a great pleasure working with him. Congratulations, obviously, on the success of your party. So I'm sure my successor will be working with you in a different capacity of some kind, and I will be passing on great encouragement to him to continue to deepen and strengthen the relationship in whatever that capacity is.
Highlights of the visit included the presentation of a gift to the High Commissioner by the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila.
How can you give me such a gift or something? But let me know what's your thoughts. Can you help her? Thank you.
After the gift presentation, the Speaker then went into a closed-door meeting with the High Commissioner and her team.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thanks a lot.
Still on courtesy visits, the leadership and members of the House of Representatives Press Corps also paid the Speaker a congratulatory visit. This was on Tuesday, 14th March 2023.
Contribution to nation building,
Addressing them, the Speaker said a lot of good legislators lost their re-election bid to return for another term in the House of Representatives.
We lost a lot of good legislators, even at the primaries level. A lot of good legislators, and that's not. It doesn't help our democracy. So hopefully, moving forward, we'll perfect that document, the Electoral Act, which many people have celebrated, but it's still not perfect yet, and hopefully we'll be able to perfect it.
He added that his colleagues in the House have been very supportive to him as the Speaker.
My colleagues have been very, very supportive. I have, through no magic of mine, but through the benevolence of God, been able to hold the House together and hold my colleagues together, which in itself is a tall order. If you follow the National Assembly over the years, managing 359 other members is not an easy thing. And I've always said that if you can be the Speaker of the Nigerian Parliament, you can thrive in any organization anywhere in the world.
The Speaker noted that he will continue to contribute to lawmaking in the 10th Assembly, despite the fact that he will be there as a floor member.
I will continue to enjoy working with you. As many of you know, I'll probably be a floor member now, which is the way our democracy works. But in being a floor member, it's not about what position you occupy, but it's about what you contribute to lawmaking and to governance. And I will continue to do that, irrespective of wherever I find myself.
Describing the gift from the press corps as a touching gesture, the Speaker thanked them for being very supportive to him urging them to continue to play a critical role in the House of Representatives.
This is very, very touching. It's a card, but the thought behind it is perhaps what is more important. It was a hard-won battle, not just for me, but for many of our colleagues on the floor there, all 360 of us. Many were unlucky, some were lucky. I use the word lucky deliberately because this election was not, as it should be, about so much about performance of members, whether on the floor or in their constituencies. It was about a lot of other things. It was about religion, it was about ethnicity, it was about so many other things, which unfortunately I hope that as we develop as a nation, the main criteria for determination of one's election will be based solely, or at least mostly, on his or her performance on the floor and in the constituency. That is what I hope will happen as we move along.
Speaking earlier, the chairperson of the press corps, Ms. Grace Ike, said that apart from congratulating the speaker, the press corps visited to identify and rejoice with him for his success at the polls.
We are still hopeful that with you, Nigeria is going to be a better place. The election has come and gone, and we all prayed and hoped for a better election.
And so we draw the curtains here. Don't forget to send in your comments, observations and questions through any of our social media platforms showing on your screen. We'll do our best to get our representatives address them accordingly. Until I come your way again, it's bye for now.